Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your Twin Flame reading for, well, it's timeless, but, you know, time stamping it, January 2020. Doing these in the last few days of 2019, so depending on when you see this, Happy New Year. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, and president of DrawingTheCircle Productions. Very happy to be here with you. I took some time off for the holidays. It's really good to be back. I'm back home in my home office in Holbrook, Long Island. Had a lovely, lovely holiday getaway. Saw family in Saratoga. Had some romantic adventures. Had another one last night. It was really kind of lovely. Two different guys. I love being single. And a witch. Just saying. So really ready to get back to work. I am refreshed. Very, very happy. Very, very centered within myself. And really inspired to do these Twin Flame readings. So let's get to business here. Number one, I did a video yesterday specifically for the True Love readings for 2020. It's the first link. There's a little bit in the description box about this video first, of course. But go watch that if you have not yet. Or if you are unfamiliar with how I read Twin Flames, my definition of Twin Flames, you'll also see down there two other links. Another video from me called Clarifying Twin Flames, Soulmates, and True Lovers. And one by Matt KAHN, spiritual teacher Matt KAHN, who's a healing mantra deck we're going to be using in these Twin Flame readings. He did one called Soul Contracts Redefining Twin Flames and Soulmates. Really, really good, right? Soul Contracts Redefining Twin Flame Soul, something like that. Titles. There's a lot of them, right? So go watch those. Like, go ahead, pause this, go watch that, then come back, because then this will make a hell of a lot more sense. Because essentially, a soulmate contract, reincarnational agreement between two souls that you're going to teach each other how to heal yourselves individually, how to love yourselves by not giving each other what you want, giving you what each other need, but not necessarily what you want. Turbulent, tumultuous, tricky relationships that are absolutely necessary to help us learn how to love ourselves, how to give ourselves the love that only we can give ourselves. Go watch them, because that's not the traditional definition at all. Your twin flame is your other half, which sounds like a nightmare. Yeah, go watch the video I just did yesterday. I hate to make fun of it because we've all believed it for so long, but you know, nothing against Santa Claus, but I like Matt KAHN. It's Matt KAHN's. Blame Matt KAHN. I like his definition better. Makes more sense. Sits better in my soul. Because what you're really looking for is your romantic, intimate soulmate, which is a different contract. Anyway, so a couple of things. We are going to be doing Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine in this reading, just to differentiate two different parties of a contract. We all have both Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine within us. This is not about bodily gender. It's not about the Y chromosome or lack thereof. So, you know, people are able to identify which they are of the two using particularly the Caroline Myss archetype deck that I use. It just kind of hits them, sort of pay attention to what happens in your body, right? How it feels, not just emotionally, but what's happening viscerally as the reading goes through, because there is a possibility, because twin flames are twins, that you may identify with both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, right? In which case, just take whatever resonates. You can absolutely look at this as a reading that both sides are you. But we are looking at a particular soul contract that you are dealing with in this life. Maybe romantic, sexual, may not be. I want them all to be romantic, sexual, so that, because I know that's what people are struggling with. But that doesn't mean you can't be struggling with a parent. My father was a twin flame contract. Go watch the other vids, because otherwise I have to do this every single video, right? That's why I made these other ones. And always include Matt KAHN's definition, that video. Cool. So just feel out the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, let the energy roll through you. You'll know in your body what resonates and what doesn't. Other than that, please just remember to breathe. Oh yeah, all the decks that I read are in the description box below. I really make sure every time I do another zodiacal series that my description box is on point, but I always keep all the decks that I read in total at the bottom. It's just easier to add instead of editing it every single time. Cool. Please breathe. The more you are aware of your breath, the more you will be able to be in the present moment. That just makes sense. The more I am aware of my breath, the more I am able to stay in the present moment. Slow it down a little bit so that I can actually translate the chi, the prana, the grace, the guidance into words. That's what I do. And if you're breathing as well, you're tuning yourself to the same chi, prana, grace, and guidance, etc. Cool, cool. Here we go. Nice deep breath. Keep in mind I am a Pisces moon, so this one affects me too. Let's see. I just got out of a twin flame, so maybe this will be about him. Maybe it won't be about me at all. Let's see. Let's dive in. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved, please, one card to represent the divine feminine in this Piscean collective. Sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract. Timeless, whenever they're supposed to watch it, but time-stamped for January 2020. Please, one for the divine feminine. And while we're here, please, same contract, same Piscean collective, one for the divine masculine. Please. It's so much faster. I like that. They're always upgrading me. They're always like, try it this way. And they're always right. So let's have a look. Who are we dealing with? Party A and Party B. Well, the divine feminine, we've got the virgin archetype, one of my favorites. I am a Virgo. I don't really have that much of it, though, considering. And for the divine masculine, we've got the God archetype. Now, what is fascinating already, the virgin is a member of the feminine family of archetypes. There are 9 family of archetypes, the masculine, the feminine, on and on and on. So we've got a feminine archetype in the divine feminine position, and of course the God archetype, the divine masculine, really, you can't get more divine masculine than the God archetype, is a member of the masculine family. So we're sort of off to a very interesting start, considering, because the idea of sacrificing a virgin to a god is just off the top of my head, right? So this might be a little sacrificial shit going on here. Let's look. Every archetype is lead and gold, shadow and light, literally written on the card, and these are just thumbnail sketches. Please go read Sacred Contracts, anything by Caroline Myss. Just eat as much Caroline Myss material as you can, and your life will be better as a result. Mine certainly is. So I'm going to read them both. We're going to start with the lead, the shadow, and move towards the light, because in either case, whether you're the divine masculine or the divine feminine, this is what the relationship is helping you heal. Not the other person helping you heal, but the contract itself is so that you heal this lead and transform it into gold. Shadow attribute of the virgin, fear of intimate union. Now, not just fear of intimate union in terms of sexuality, although that's sort of on the nose for the virgin if we think of the virgin only in terms of sex and sensuality and intimacy, physical intimacy in that way. But it can also be intimacy with God, right? Intimacy with God, intimacy with the divine, right? Because of our shame, our fear that if God finds us and sees us, which is sort of ridiculous. We are God. God is everything, right? But that is a fear. That is something that we keep in the shadow that we don't want to look at. And like a virus in the program, glitches us like crazy, right? So it can be fear of emotional intimacy, right? Fear of mental intimacy, to share your secrets and your truth with people, or what you believe about certain things, for fear of persecution, right? So obviously vulnerability, which is a big part of the virgin. Light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, and the key word there is symbolic purity. Like, we all do the best that we can, and purity of heart and spirit. Like, I don't care how pure you are about your diet. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole, right? You know, I don't care how much of an enthusiast of certain genres of music are. If you're kind of pissing all over everybody else's opinion about music and art, you're an asshole. It's no fun. It's not, if you're no fun to be around, right? Where's your heart, right? So that symbolic purity. Like, I have the virgin archetype in some respects, and I usually do define myself more as divine feminine, although it depends on who I'm with, right? That's the alchemy of it too. Other people trigger different yin-yang dynamic in you. So like for me, if there are, and this, Caroline May said this in one of her lectures, and I never forgot it because it's so like who I am, considering I grew up in an Italian family. If there are like breadcrumbs on a stick of butter, get me a whole new fucking stick of butter. What are you, skeeving me? Yeah, you bet your ass I skeeve you. I don't know where them crumbs have been. In fact, can I please have the little individually wrapped? I know it's not green. I know it's tinfoil, right? But that's the thing. I'm also pretty much a virgin and a purist. I can never sit through karaoke, even on TV. It's like someone sings off key, you might as well drag a rake across a chalkboard. Bad choreography or good choreography done badly. I'm a little bit of a snob, but for me, it's the purity of the art, right? So there could be a little snobby in here. So in the shadow, in the light, though, the symbolic purity of like, no, I really want to experience the purity of this situation. I want true love. I want pure love. I want, you sort of get it? The virgin, well, like virgin territory, right? Like land that has never been built upon, like to explore that symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Got it? The God attribute. The shadow, despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. Now, come on, we've all come across people like that in our lives. But in a relationship, we really know how tyrannical that is in the shadow. They're usually very intimidating, but remember, people can also be despots and cruel using martyrdom, right? Like how much they've suffered to kind of keep their thumb and control other people. In any relationship, it's a nightmare. But usually this is because there is so much pain in the unconscious. In other words, particularly because it is a divine masculine archetype in the divine masculine position in this contract, to get that there is that there is pain that the person is not even aware of and they don't know what to do about it, and so they just must control everyone and everything. I don't want to bring too much psychology into it, but if you really look at borderline personality disorder, I had a therapist explain it to me once because I went through a series of dealing with a lot of borderline personality disorders in my career. And they were like, they're walking this borderline and they have to control everything because one little slip and they fall off the edge. And I was like, oh, right? So that kind of pain that they just have to control, despot, is different than a leader, right? So the gold, the light attribute, benevolence and compassion. We could stop right there. There's more. Like benevolence, like a benevolent God, compassionate. It's like, I understand. You're doing this because you're in pain. You need more freedom. The pain that you're in needs more love, not less. More compassion, more understanding, not less, not punishment, right? Recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others, which is essentially about unity consciousness, recognizing it, seeing the divine in others, seeing the God, and knowing that we're all one. And that keeps you from being a despot and cruel, keeps you more benevolent and compassionate, particularly if you're studying the quantum. We're all the quantum field. We are all manifestations of one quantum field. So that's the eternal. That's the divine, if you want to use that language. So why in the world be cruel? Because you're only being cruel to yourself. Okay. So we've got our two major energies down here, divine feminine, divine masculine. What we're going to do is we're going to take 3 daughters of the moon to give you a timeline, past, present, future for the divine feminine. Then we will take 3 mythic tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke, love that deck. 3 for the divine masculine. Cool, cool. You get how this works, kids? Let's dive in. Nice deep breath. Oh, lovely, lovely. My goddesses, please. 3 cards. I will pull them one at a time. Past, present, future. For this divine feminine virgin archetype in this Piscean collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract. Time stamped January 2020, but timeless. Whenever they watch it is when they're supposed to watch it. So please, give me the card of the past for the divine feminine virgin. Card of the present. Where is she now in this twin flamer? Where is she going? Card for the future. You know what? Let's do the divine masculine while we're here. We'll get them all down on the table. It's nothing like doing Pisces first. I get kind of the most intuitive stuff. My gods. Such a different vibration of energy, considering we've got the God archetype staring at me. Oh, staring at me. My gods, please. 3 cards, past, present, future, for the Divine Masculine God archetype in this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. We're having a little personal insight. I'll try and knock it off. Please, 3 cards, past, present, future, for this Divine Masculine God archetype in this Piscean collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, twin flame contract, time stamped January 2020, but timeless, please. 1 for the past, where has he been? 1 for the present, where is he now in this contract? I have to use he and she, please bear with me. And 1 for the future, please, where is he going? Okay, no reversals. I don't read reversals when I do video reads, because, no. I don't like them that much. Okay, for the Divine Feminine, where has she been in this contract? Maybe before they met, but maybe already into this contract for a while. All right, so we got the Ace of Cups, happiness, right? So obviously that this started well. The Virgin, very, very happy. It's like, oh, it's a new beginning, an offer of love. How wonderful. Pretty simple. Let's see where she is now. Well, interesting. The 7 of Blades in this deck, meditation, right? A woman ice fishing, right? Cut a hole in the ice, and there's a lot of waiting, but waiting with her spear, harpoon, spear, whatever, poised, right? So not in this place of, but mindfulness, single-pointed focus. It's like focusing on the breath, introspection, contemplation. So it does feel like the Divine Feminine, considering the Virgin, is like, let me pull back behind castle walls, raise the drawbridge, meditate. Now, if you're the Divine Feminine in this and you're the Pisces, you know that your interior world is often more active than your exterior, right? So there's a richness and a depth there, but it's also because of the Piscean thing, and honey, I'm a Pisces moon, Divine Feminine, also a lot of fantasies, a lot of wishful thinking that can trigger all sorts of emotions. Now, the thing is if you can do that and get that the emotions that you're feeling that feel good, it's like, oh, we're married, it's going to be wonderful. If you can just do it for the emotion, it's called indirect manifestation, right? Instead of trying to make that picture happen, if you can really just be like, you know, I'm just going to do this purely, purity of heart and spirit. I am just imagining this because I want to feel this way. And what that does is the soul registers that and then tells the universe via the law of attraction. You know, I don't talk about it much because this is, I believe, the accurate way of working law of attraction. It's indirectly, right? You're not trying to control and manipulate and make shit happen. But when you're allowing yourself to feel it, giving yourself permission to want what you want and feel it only for the emotion, the soul absorbs it, gives it to the universe. Law of attraction says, bring us more experiences to help us feeling that. Because you can see how when you're having a bad day that works, right? We all know that's the automatic process. When we imagine the worst and then things happen that have nothing to do with what we were imagining but feel the same, right? Disappointment, frustration, impatience. This is like saying, okay, well, then I can use this relationship to teach myself how to feel a certain way regardless of what anybody else does, particularly as the Divine Masculine. Understanding that I can feel as a Piscean so deep. Now remember, you might not be the Divine Feminine Piscean person, or the Pisces might be the Divine Masculine here, but get that that's something built into Pisces, is that depth, regardless of placement, right? I have it a Pisces moon, the emotional field, right? So, and I've been doing that. I've been saying, well, it's how I brought in my past two, let's not say lovers just yet, but experiences. Really just visualizing, wanting to feel certain things, certain qualities, and really in less than a week. And one of them while I was away on vacation, and honestly, the guy that I'm starting to date now, we connected while I was away, but he was here. So it was just sort of weird. Like the universe like really went to it. I don't know why it happened so fastly, and I have no idea what's going to happen either. That's the other part of it. Surrender the outcome. Release how it manifests. It's about what you want to feel, right? So, where is she going? Interesting. All right. Excellent. The 9 of Cups. Very much a wish fulfillment card. Very much Kuan Yin, going with the flow, doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, right? That lovely, lovely Nine of Cups of emotions flowing, not quite the 10, but sort of clear and happy and happy, content, right? Like, I'm fine. Whatever the fuck is going to happen is going to happen. Kind of really digging that. Let's leave her be for a bit, because we're going to look at the God, the divine masculine archetype here. What's he doing in his past? Interesting. She ends with the Nine of Cups. He begins with the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, this is King Midas, the one with the Midas touch, turning things to gold. Nothing to do with mufflers. I don't know if that's just a New York thing. But that thing of, I've got my coin. I'm not quite at a 10, right? Not surrounded by friends and family and, you know, all of that, want my dogs, right? It's so funny, the 10 of coins, the 10 of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's the Kabbalistic tree of life. Like, learn your tarot. Not everybody needs to know every symbol on every card, because you can't. They're infinite interpretations. But here in the 9, we really see it's like, okay, I got my coin, I got my stability. So where she starts with a 1, he starts with a 9 in this spread, in this reading. So interesting for a God archetype to be like, okay, well, I'm not at the 10, but I'm good. Like, I'm stable. I'm sober, clear, right? So I'm like clear. Got myself, I'm not all the way there, but may really, really want to get there. Why wouldn't a God want to experience the fulfillment, the 10? Where is he right now? The Death card. Now, transformation, obviously. This is Hades, right? Lord of the dead, ruler of the underworld. My patron for the past year. Dionysus is my patron now for this year. Every Yule I switch up. Very familiar with Hades. Boy, did I spend time in the underworld this past year. The transformation, learning to love what rises. That the divine masculine here is the one going through the overhaul, the upgrade. The pain around this is considerable, considering, right, that we associate death and loss. But first of all, it's the 13th card of the major arcana, not the last. It's like midway, a little bit more than midway, mathematically. That this is about the rising from, going to or rising from the ashes. Transformation, break the word apart. It's the action of changing, transformation, the action of changing form. So, so not just a shake-up here, but perhaps a loss of identity. Who am I, right? Like, had this and now this happened. Like, so many people are going through this right now, either through Dark Night of the Soul or Shamanic Descent or complete and utter devastation, old life die off, right? Where just your old life, your own identity is just ashes and you don't know who you are. Can be an identity crisis, all sorts of stuff, because if you're identified as anything other than the divine in a human body, a soul, the quantum field, anything other than that is persona, a mask, a role you're playing, but we forget, right? And that's okay, we're supposed to. But the deliciousness of remembering while we're in the game, that's why we forget. So what comes of this? His future? Well, interesting, the Page of Pentacles. Now, pages for me are not necessarily people. They are messengers that bring messages. So when we're looking at the Page of Pentacles here, it may be an immature offer. Immature, not meaning like, but like almost like an ace. Almost like an ace, but like, well, would you like to maybe meet for a drink? Would you like to do, or a new opportunity now, because it is Pentacles, and because we're dealing with Pentacles here, this divine masculine God archetype might be dealing with some financial or physical body issues where a new offer or new information has to come in. Because pages definitely are messengers. So there's something in here that as a result of this death transformation, this divine masculine God archetype might very well be experiencing being a dark god. I mean, Hades is a dark god, but dark doesn't mean evil. He's Earth. He's an Earth god. He's an underworld. One of, if not the wealthiest god, one of the wealthiest gods, because that's where the gems and the minerals and the oil, whatever's left of it, right? All the rich resources of the planet are underground. I love Hades, and I love going to the underworld. It's not hell. That's why I work with my Greeks. It's like, to them, it's not hell. It's the inevitable. Right? We all go there. We grow younger so that we can come back. It's like rehab. Reincarnational rehab. There you go. Because we all come back anyway, because this is the place to be, apparently, planet Earth. Interesting. Now we get to clarify. We're going to pick 2 cards, and I love these cards. I'm so glad I got them. From Matt KAHN, the Healing Mantra deck. Now, these decks are these cards are incredibly simple. They are like lightsabers. They just cut right through it. Don't you love sound effects? I was raised by a nursery school teacher. I have 10 billion sound effects and at least 10,000 character voices. I really should do voiceover work. If anybody's connected, drop me a line, because, honey, I got more character voices. A lot of times I just think it's them. Channel for hire, for fun and profit. So here's the deal. The cards are very simple. On one side is the name of the mantra, on the other is the mantra itself, and there's a little booklet. So I'm going to give you as much info as I can as I'm tuning in, because these are wonderful. Now, the thing is, because twin flames are turbulent relationships, they're teaching you how to love yourself, teaching you how to heal yourself, boundaries and all of that, regardless of whether you're the divine masculine or divine feminine, or if you identify as both. The mantras will be helpful. So the one that you get that you've identified, so if you identify as divine feminine, the mantra that comes to you will be about helping you heal you. The one that comes from the divine masculine will be about helping heal you in regards to the divine masculine. You get it? So that both are valuable. Breathe. Ow, funny bone. Get in the body, Mark. Yeah, you tried doing this work with the Pisces moon reading. Pisces. Let's do this. Inhale. Exhale. Oh, my masters, the ascended masters. Matt and the masters, like Mike and the mechanics, please. 1 card in clarity for this divine feminine virgin archetype in this Piscean collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign twin flame contract. Timestamp January 2020, but timeless. Please, what is the healing mantra that will help this divine feminine heal? And while we're here, without looking, please, same thing for the divine masculine in this contract. Good. I like doing that. Saves time. I'm trying to keep these under an hour. Oh, okay. For the divine feminine, dispelling sadness. Now, considering what we got going on here, I'm not seeing sadness here, right? We've got Ace of Cups, happiness, sort of the opposite of sadness, but in the past. Here we've got meditation, contemplation, the 7 of Blades, which is different than the 7 of Swords, obviously, in the Rider-Waite deck, that's sort of sneaking away. This is more like going into the self. So if there is, and that would make sense present moment, if there's some sadness going on that you're going in to deal with that, and you're the Piscean, that makes sense. But know that you come out of this with Kuan Yin, a card, Chinese bodhisattva / goddess of compassion. So dispelling sadness. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Oh, my word, right? I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Dispelling sadness. Let's read it from the Booksy Wooksy, shall we? Dispelling sadness. My God, it was so nice to go away and just sleep. Like, nobody, in Saratoga, nobody gets out of bed, at least at my parents' house, until 10 a.m. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. These are really short. When sadness dissolves, you are able to acknowledge upheavals of emotion as profound healings taking place. So emotional upheaval is a profound healing taking place when, when sadness dissolves. As a result, you are inspired to give your body the rest and rejuvenation it needs, rather than push yourself into states of imbalance. Careful, Pisces, right? If you're the Pisces and this is you. As you dissolve sadness, you become aware of the vital role downtime plays in helping you recharge your energy field. This mantra is ideal for dealing with depression, fighting against time, and learning how to relax. So very, very helpful. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. Mantras are codes. They need to be repeated. Look, we've all been conditioned. It's not that we get rid of conditioning. We learn how to condition ourselves, right? So there is a difference between an affirmation and a mantra. An affirmation is a statement of truth that you're trying to make true for yourself, right? It's more about changing the belief system. A mantra is a code. It's like downloading code over and over and over and reconditioning the system. It's just different. That mantras are more about a soul level than just working on the mind. Well, that's why I do them in Sanskrit, but I ain't translating these into Sanskrit. Not today. Not today. All right, so for the Divine Masculine here, unraveling codependency. Oh, yeah, the work. Here we go. Well, that death card. Unraveling codependency. Oh, and the mantra is, only I have to feel good about my choices. Yeah, only I have to feel good about my choices. Nobody else. Only I have to feel good about my choices. Now, that has certainly led to a lot of despotism in this world. So that's why the mantra of, well, I would make this choice. The mantra does heal that. It makes sense. Well, if I make this choice, she may, he may, they might. That's the precursor. That's what gets you in to codependence, where you start negotiating your boundaries and stuff like that, and what feels right to you, right? Your own intuitive guidance, your own choices, your own grace. So unraveling it, only I have to feel good about my choices. Let's read this puppy. Hold on. There we go. Unraveling codependency. Only I have to feel good about my choices. When codependency unravels, you are able to move freely in the direction of your heart's desire without needing permission from others. It's freedom. As codependency fades, you are able to honor the emotional reactions of others as crucial stages of their healing journey without taking responsibility for them. Do you hear that? It's like, okay, other people are not going to like it when I do certain things, but that's their healing journey, and that's okay. And then I'm playing a part of their healing journey, but I'm not responsible for what they do. I have had people say to me, if you do this or that, I will kill myself. Honestly, the best thing, you can look them in the eye and say, I love you, but that's your choice. They never do. They never do. You know who kill themselves? The people who don't talk about it usually are, and those are the ones that really need the love, right? But that's the human condition. I've been at that door myself. I think as a mystic, any mystic does, because the call to return home can be so intense when we're just not getting what we want here. It's a natural tendency. So just be careful of that, particularly with that death card. That's why I really went the suicide part of this, right? So this mantra is ideal for healing family dynamics, because we learn codependency somewhere, cultivating emotional freedom, and reclaiming personal power. Unraveling codependency, only I have to feel good about my choices. Snap. What we're going to do now, just for fun, we're going to ask the higher selves of all involved using the whispers of Love Oracle, which I adore this deck so very much. And don't worry, I'm going to pop up a picture of all the cards as I do, at the end. Let's have a look here. Higher selves of all involved. Please, we're going to pick 3 cards. 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine, and 1 for the overall Twin Flame contract. So please, here we go. Oh, the higher selves of all involved. Please, 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 please. 1 card in clarity for the Divine Feminine Virgin archetype in this Piscean Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract. Please, 1 for her. Please, 1 for the Divine Masculine God archetype in this Piscean Twin Flamer. And 1 for this Piscean Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Twin Flame contract in and of itself. Is that just 1 card? Yes, it is. Because the contract is sort of like an entity unto itself, a third party within Not speaking about another person, I mean like you get it, the contract itself. The divine feminine virgin archetype. Actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. And, you know, for a virgin archetype to do that might take some courage. But coming from this place of compassion, right? I mean, I know the card doesn't say compassion, but Kuan Yin is a goddess of compassion, right? Compassionate action, but perhaps even action for herself, right? Sisters are doing it for themselves. Standing on their own 2 feet, ringing on their own bells. Sorry, I just had an Aretha Franklin flashback. I will feel better once I get the rest I need. So isn't that funny with meditation? That the action might very well be, the first action I'm going to take is to rest. Rest is an action, even though it looks inactive. It is a decision. And if it's express your love through actions, yes, perhaps to the divine masculine who may be going through a death phase. Look, just because it's a twin flame doesn't mean you don't love the person, doesn't mean you can't give love. It's just you can't give each other what you want. You can't get what you want from that. But certainly, you don't have to crash and burn everything, right? You don't have to be destructive and horrible. Not saying you are, but that you can demonstrate love. Just make sure your cups are full. Give of the overflow. That's compassion. All right. For the divine masculine here, what have we got from his higher self? Get to know each other. Learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. So considering that you cannot give each other what you want, perhaps learning to meet another's need for love, right? That the divine masculine here can be what's written right on the archetype card: benevolent and compassion. So, benevolence and compassion. So there, with the Kuan Yin here and the God archetype here, both really strong indicators of compassion. Compassion really, for me at least, well, look to His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, whoever your compassion teachers are, do the research, look it up. But for me, it starts with everybody is doing the best that they can with the information and the level of consciousness that they're at. And that's really, really hard to deal with when people are coming for you. But they're only coming for you because they're in pain, right? I've said for decades, if you have a puppy that you love and every day you come home, it's like, I love you, and kibbles and kisses. And you come home one day and that dog is in the corner fucking snarling and yapping at you. You don't go, oh my God, my dog's possessed. You go, honey, what's wrong? They're in pain, right? Tummy upset, thorn in its paw, whatever. So to kind of get to know each other, divine masculine, in terms of, well, you know, what is it that you do want? What is it that you need? Because then it might be that thing of, well, I can't give you that because nobody can give you that but you. See what I mean? Get to know each other. Don't assume. 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz. Okay. For the contract itself, have patience. Love is patient and kind always. So that's what you're both learning here. You're both learning how to be patient, right? Have patience. Love is patient and kind always. Patience with yourself has to start there. If you are impatient with yourself, you just don't have the fuel in the tank necessary to give that patience to others, right? People say, have patience. Well, you can't give patience unless you have patience. You know what I mean, right? Let's give you your overview. For the first time of this series, Magic Clap. We start with the Divine Feminine Virgin archetype in the shadow, fear of intimate union. The light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. In the past, she's got the Ace of Cups, happiness. In the present, 7 of Blades, meditation. In the future, 9 of Cups, Kuan Yin. So just looking at that, she goes from a 1 to a 9, but it feels like with that meditation in the present moment, she's doing it herself, that she's really finding it from within, giving herself the love and certainly that keynote of compassion. Just to look at her mantra, dispelling sadness, I will feel better once I get the rest I need. That is certainly highlighted then. That highlights, I should say, the card of meditation. And actions speak loudly. Express your love through your actions. The voice of the higher self there, that those actions probably need to be given to herself first, but maybe now that she, once she gets rested, once, her sadness has dissolved, she can take much more loving action toward, away from, who knows, but really with this overlighting card of patience as the last card down, this is going to take a little while, and as it should, you know, no need to rush twin flames. They burn fast enough. Looking at the divine masculine with the God archetype in the shadow. Despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. Now, right under that, by the way, is the death card, so that's probably what's in transformation here. I mean, talk about alchemy, right? Talk about living in the crucible of the fires of the underworld. The light attribute, the gold that he's shooting for, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. Such a divine power, and we love that in the divine masculine, that benevolence and compassion, knowing that he is one with everything. In the past, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, which really talks about stability, really talks about a foundation here, not quite at the 10, but at the 9, very much a card of someone who has their own deal and their own shit together. But with that death card in the present position, that might not be the case anymore with that Nine of Pentacles, right? Although certainly that transformation is going to be different from story to story. For anybody watching this, for the Divine Masculine, certainly you'll know the nature of the transformation. And remember, death is not the end. It is... to me, there's a difference between a change. A change in the weather is not necessarily a transformation of the weather, but this is usually something from the inside out. That's why you see skeletons and bones so often in the death card. Not in this deck, but in general. And in his future is the Page of Pentacles, a message of something new, information coming in about something physical and hopefully a new beginning, right? It would make sense that you have a sense of completion at the 9, right? The death card, and then the promise or the message of the Page of Pentacles, which offers 1 pentacle. So from the 9, not quite at the 10, but to the 1, almost like a close but no cigar. His mantra, unraveling codependency. I only have to feel good about my choices. Sorry, only I have to feel good about my choices. And with get to know each other, learning to meet another's need for love is important for a relationship to grow. Now, with the have patience, love is patient and kind always, as the overview here, the guides just dropped into my head something that I had not considered before, but that I know to be true. So let me magic clap us out of this. Here's the thing that just popped into me. And I actually mentioned this. Matt KAHN mentions it in his video. I mention it in my both of my clarifying videos involving twin flame. There are twin flame contracts that become soulmate contracts. They are rare from what I understand, but they do happen. This could be that situation. This could be that, because this getting to know each other with an unraveling of codependency and a dissolving of sadness, I'm not saying that's going to happen for everybody, but with that, have patience, because the idea of a twin flame, for me at least, look, I was raised by lawyers, so I'm like, yeah, my mother divorced my father and married her divorce lawyer. They're still married. I was just up in Saratoga with them. That happened when I was 4, okay? I'm 51. I think that's a stable relationship. But that thing of have patience, it's like saying, this contract... There's more going on here, because for me a contract is let's fulfill the contract and get this over with. Maybe not so much in a business contract, that can be about an ongoing partnership. But that's the thing, contracts, soulmates are about usually ongoing partnerships, where the twin flames are let's heal this, let me learn what I need to learn so that I can be the best that I can be and be in the satisfying, stable soulmate relationship. Well, what I'm calling a happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, romantic, intimate, sexual partnership. Soulmate contract, helping each other heal. So I'm just saying, like, I wasn't seeing that as the cards hit the table. It wasn't until I saw the overview, where there's always more in the overview, that particularly the healing that's going on here individually, there is a potential that this could transform into a soulmate contract, but there's no promise in that, and you're not going to know until it happens anyway. So the counsel here of the cards is the same. Heal yourself, right? Give yourself the love, the healing, the acceptance, the approval, the respect, the kindness, and again, the compassion that only you can give you. Then, once that has been fulfilled, you can exchange that with each other, but if the other doesn't receive it, sounds very twin flamey to me. Cool, cool. Well, that was pretty awesome for the first Twin Flame reads. I like this spread a lot. I will definitely be using this with clients that are in the similar situations. So thank you so much for watching. Please do like and subscribe. I'm shooting for my 1,000 subscribers so I can do super live chat and Drunk Tarot. Oh, I'm sure I'm putting that link in the box below. Gotta do Drunk Tarot. Watch the vid. It's fun. Cool, cool. So thank you so much for watching. Wishing the Piscean collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs the very best and the very blessed, that everything that they need to heal, to learn, to grow, to complete and fulfill this twin flame contract under grace and in perfect ways now manifests for them, for the well-being of all. And so it is. Cool, cool. Thank you so much for watching. But for now, my darling, my Mer family, hail, farewell, and blessed be.